Sophia in the ancient Greek is the name for divine wisdom. From Proverbs, I was set up from eternity, and of old before the earth was made. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he balanced the foundations of the earth, I was with him, playing with him at all times, playing in the world. My delight is to be with humanity.
We're living in a time of great evolutionary shift, when the feminine impulse is coming into balance with the masculine and bringing with it a radical wisdom of the heart. Old patriarchal patterns that no longer serve us are being transformed within ourselves and our societal structures. New patterns, more feminine patterns, are beginning to emerge that are centered in love, in wisdom, in integration, in wholeness. You could say it's about personal transformation that leads to societal transformation. Like Gandhi, I believe that we must be the change we wish to see in the world.
As a relative newcomer to Charleston, I am keenly aware that the Sophia Institute is something of a small miracle.
The Sophia Institute played a very large part in my decision to move to Charleston. And once I was here, it very quickly became my home away from home. I've had the chance to see many speakers from all over the world espousing extraordinary ideas that have really touched me and changed me in many ways. I've seen that transform my personal and relational life really in remarkable ways.
I came into this weekend with an open mind, and I'm leaving with a full heart. And that's in large measure because of the teachings of Andrew Harvey and the time that he spent with us, but also because of the opportunity to enjoy this fellowship of the other participants, folks from here in Charleston and from areas far away. And I'm really grateful to learn that there is this resource in my own backyard.
It is amazing to me that I could have so little conscious understanding for what I was about to experience. And just how profound it was going to be for me.
I have been profoundly changed by the Sophia Institute. I've been to 16 of Carolyn's weekend seminars, and I can tell you that they have all been life-altering for me.
Race and money were two major issues that I really had not worked through until I came to a workshop. Actually, it was the Mosaics of Mary, and I was able to heal my issue around race here at the Sophia Institute. I'm very grateful.
The Sophia Institute has inspired me to add a spiritual dimension to my social and political activism.
These are extraordinary programs and an opportunity to listen and learn from some of the great minds.
The Sophia Institute is our way of speaking to the challenges we're facing in the world, to the deep spiritual yearning of our time. Einstein said the mindset that created the problem is not the mindset that will solve it. At Sophia Institute, we're cultivating a new mindset, one that is wisdom-based and found in the hearts of women and men alike.
I have the opportunity and the great privilege, like many of my colleagues, to fly all over the world and do programs, lectures, workshops, seminars, lead them and teach them in places all over this planet. But one of the most wonderful places to come is Charleston, South Carolina, and to teach and speak for the Sophia Institute.
There is a great chaos and turmoil and sort of an unraveling in the world today. Clearly, some form is dissolving. Something isn't holding. Something's falling apart. And I think a new form is trying to emerge. It seems to me that the Sophia Institute is a place that is incubating a new vision and a new consciousness, a place where people can move from head knowledge only into heart and body knowledge.
Sophia is a focal point for a powerful form of conversation, a transformative conversation that gets beneath the surface of things, away from the periphery and down to the hub of life, a hub that holds the wheel of everything together. And from this center, from this ground, I think each of us can get an inkling of both our individual connection to a possible future that we want for ourselves, but also a sense of how we're all going to get there together.
This institute, this place, is a growth medium for people to come and touch into the spiritual motivation that they have and to bring into life that which each of us has a relationship to, which is the sacred feminine.
More and more history is happening faster and faster than has ever been known in any other time in history. The confusion, the complexity is so intense that many of us find ourselves kind of falling into general chaos. It's as if all of the darknesses, the shadows of history have come together. The poet says, "Thank God our time is now, when wrong comes up to meet us everywhere, never to leave us, till we take the longest stride of soul folk ever took."
There's a Native American saying that where there is no vision, the people perish. And now is a time in world history when we really need vision that comes out of wisdom and departfulness. Places like the Sophia Institute are so important because that's where vision and wisdom get nurtured.
I think it's so exciting at this time in history. We have an incredible opportunity to leave a legacy for our children and grandchildren where we can sustain nature, the environment, and the earth. And it's an incredible time where we're all being called, every generation, to really make a difference. And my really heartfelt commitment is to plant as many seeds as possible.
Important is that I think getting to know ourselves and getting to know our inner divine spark, which is the term that I use, is one of the most socially responsible things that we can do these days. Because when we're in touch with that, we end up just naturally and kind of effortlessly making more conscious and clearer choices. And this goes across the board. It's not just dealing with spirituality. This could also deal with politics and the environment, social injustice.
Women are disproportionately impacted by almost all the crises in the world, from environmental crisis to wars and poverty. And we cannot talk about the building of a sustainable peace and a sustainable democracies and sustainable economies without the full inclusion of women in the process of discussion, in the process of solutions, in the process of building a sustainable and lasting peace in the world. The Sophia Center provides a space where women and men hear the voices of the feminine, of what Mother Earth needs us to do and we should do to protect the future of our children and of our future generations.
This is what the Sophia Institute is about, and this is why I reverence it and cherish it and want to support what it's doing. This moment is necessary. I think here we are trying to reimagine the human experience, and to do that in ways that value both the masculine and the feminine in this beautiful balance and integration.
It's about the change that I see coming over the faces of the people who attend these programs as they open their minds and hearts to new perspectives and new visions that might actually change and heal this world.
We are then allowed to move out in this time of the world's great need to respond in that way that each of us only and individually can respond. This is the enormous gift and brilliance of the Sophia Institute.
Now this place, the Sophia Institute, is a place where the exploration into God, the joining of some of the finest minds of our time with the deepest issues of our time, the bringing together of the wisdom traditions of millennia. This happens here. This happens now.
I am convinced that the genius of soul resides at the Sophia Institute. There is a mystery of hope here. There is a moment to be seized, and it is a necessary moment. And I hope we're all able to step up and seize that moment together.
As we face new challenges in a world in transformation, we're holding the belief that together we can create a more conscious world, one in renaissance that expresses the vastness of the human potential. The vision of Sophia Institute is a world that could be called a wisdom society, a 21st century that could be called Sophia Century, a compassionate global community where wholeness and wisdom, integration, Peace, oneness, sustainability, the conscious feminine and masculine are at the center of life.